Back here, mid-table talk. Check us out on all our social media, creating content left and right. TikTok is going to be going crazy this summer. Still talking Copa America. Won't have started before this video comes out. We're hitting Group D today. Colombia. Vamos Colombia, mis parceros. Bandeja paisa, maric. But yeah, Colombia. I know I say this often, but Colombia is legit. If you ask me, one of the best teams in the world right now. Got some huge wins and friendlies building up to this. They beat Germany. They beat Spain. They're undefeated through 20 games. 15 wins, 5 ties, and 0 losses through all competitions. Nestor Lorenzo, only been a head coach very recently. He was a longtime assistant for Colombia. He was the head assistant under Beckerman. He was coaching in Peru up until he got the call from Colombia. He was coaching at Melgar, able to get them to at least qualify to Libertadores. That's a big achievement for South American standards. 20 games undefeated and your real first big gig as a head coach. Germany, Spain, Brazil, and USA. I'm joking. And they beat on the United States so bad, like, that changed the complete trajectory of the way the media was covering the United States up to that point. Nestor Lorenzo has got these boys figured out. Let's go into the starting lineup now. Nestor Lorenzo usually sets up in a 4-2-3-1. Pretty concrete on who is going to be starting up to this point. Maybe some slight question marks on the defense for Nestor to figure out. But in goal is going to be Camilo Vargas from Atlas. Right back is going to be Munoz from Crystal Palace. That's the most represented team in the England squad, Crystal Palace to you. Yeah, Munoz has been very solid for Crystal Palace. Put in a great shift over the last 10-15 games that Glasner was in charge. The dude does not give up on defense. So there could be a slight variation in how this eventually turns out. I believe the center back pairing is going to be Davinson Sanchez at right center back and Jean-Luc Coumi at left center back. Davinson Sanchez playing for Galatasaray nowadays, was at Tottenham once upon a time. I believe Davinson Sanchez, a veteran presence, and I think all that experience playing at Tottenham, playing at the top of the world's game for so many years, you got to put him in. Left center back, Jean-Luc Coumi playing for Bologna, Thiago Motta's Bologna that qualified for the champions this next season. Jean-Luc Coumi was good for this Bologna team. Very solid defensively. In and out of a 3-back sometimes, along with Riccardo Calafiori, who's having a good start to his Euro campaign. Lucumi is a big part of that Bologna defense. He's left-footed, but can easily play with both feet. You could also see a Yerry Mina in there at right center back. Was a starter for Colombia for many years. That 2018 memorable performance against England. Probably one of the biggest aerial threats still in the game. Even if he doesn't start, don't be surprised to see him in late game situations, tied or down one. Carlos Cuesta from Genk as well, playing in Belgium for a couple years already. Very solid center back. Going into the midfield now, 4-2-3-1. The two holding sixes for Nestor Lorenzo are, I think, one of those spots is going to Jefferson Lerma off Crystal Palace, just like right back Munoz. Lerma has been very solid for Crystal Palace as well. Started 28 out of 38 BPL games. Glasner seems to be a big admirer of him. To tag along with him, I believe, is going to be Palmeiras' very own Richard Rios, the Aura King of the world. If you don't know what that's about, check out TikTok. The dude is obviously very sexy. He has the physical attributes, obviously. The dude is solid. He's only gotten better ever since he arrived from Palmeiras. He's starting more now for Palmeiras, a very good Palmeiras team that came off winning the Brasileirão last season, looking to be very good in Libertadores this upcoming season. He scored a banger against Independiente del Valle in Libertadores. Could be somewhat of a breakout tournament for him. Europe is definitely going to be taking a look at him. Unmatched aura. I need to stop. Trident, right wing, I think is going to start John Arias, similarly in the Brasileirão, on the team that just won Libertadores. Not so much a dribbler in the sense that Luis Diaz is. He's more of an open space. He's very fast, but he can also create in the center. So don't be surprised to see him drifting in that 10 spot. The creative role has to be James Rodriguez. You can say whatever you want about his club career. When James is wearing yellow, that's basically Colombian Jesus at this point. 10 years on from his player of the tournament campaign in the World Cup. Yeah, it didn't work the greatest in Europe. Yeah, he struggles to get minutes for Sao Paulo right now. Yeah, he's not in the best shape. Yeah, he's not that fast, whatever. Doesn't matter. And I promise you, to Nestor Lorenzo and James, it matters even less. The dude is creative 10 through and through. He's free flowing. Doesn't even matter much position wise because he's going to roam into into the open spots. And this is why I say he doesn't need pace. Quicker than anyone, borderline anyone in the Copa America on his feet. Tight space, magician, and he's got pace around him, so everybody's just going to work around him. Probably the best person to ask for a wall pass on earth, honestly. Last of a dying breed. It's going to be sad to see, but I'm looking forward to a big tournament from James. Maybe not statistically, but on the eyes. But don't be surprised to see a Juanfer Quinteros or a Jorge Carrascal subbing into that squad at some point. Moving along, left wing, the star of the show, the main guy, Luis Diaz. I'm not a Liverpool fan. I'm not Colombiano, unfortunately, but I love watching this guy play. He's a traditional winger. Wingers of a dying breed that just, who cares about a system? I'm going to beat this defender and I'm going to provide something or score. He can make something out of nothing. I'm expecting a huge tournament from him. I think he's setting himself up for probably one of the biggest tournaments in all of Copa America. Up top, lastly, for Colombia, this could end up going either way for me, but Rafael Santos Borré was at Frankfurt for some time, spent some time with River as well, plays on Porto Alegre Internacional currently. He's really good, man. He's one of those South American strikers that can make something out of nothing as well, as I'm sure Barcelona fans remember. I think he starts, but Miguel Borja from River Plate is probably the most informed striker in South American soccer right now with River Plate. He's actually the reason Solomon Rondon is on Pachuca. But this is probably the best problem to ever have for a manager, having to pick between a dude that probably should be starting in Europe, in Borré, and the dude that is one of the best strikers on the continent right now. What a problem to have. I think Santos Borré gets the nod to start for the Copa America, but don't be too surprised if he doesn't take advantage of those opportunities. Could see a colibri and some dancing. And all that being said, I think this is one of the best teams in Copa America. I think they're in that second or third place region between them and Uruguay. This Colombia team, with how they play and open so freely, dribblers, this is what a Brazil team should play and look like. Kind of crazy to say, but Brazil has become much more systematic in the way they play, completely opposite to what those early 2000 teams were. I mean, the talent is nowhere near the same level. Ronaldinho, Rivaldo, Ronaldo, Kaká. Jeez. Joga Bonito, that's Colombia right now. Tune in when they're going to be playing. That's going to be a really fun game to watch too, Colombia-Brazil. Group predictions now. Group D, Brazil, Colombia, Paraguay, and Costa Rica. I think this goes Colombia, Brazil. Ooh. Is that a hot take anymore? I feel like it's not. I mean, what did Ronaldinho say? He backtracked super quick, but some of what he said is not wrong. I'm going to give third to Paraguay. Paraguay is not that bad of a team, by the way. They have Ramon Sosa from Talleres getting linked to Chelsea. And you got Almiron, too. He's kind of a 10, but he's so fast. You got to play him on the wing. Don't be surprised if Paraguay throws a wrench in Colombia and Brazil's campaign in this. Again, Colombia, Brazil, Paraguay, who is not that bad, and Costa Rica last. Sorry to my CONCACAF brothers, Costa Rica, but long gone are the days of Joel Campbell and Brian Ruiz. Keylor Navas just recently retired too. I don't know why he wasn't called up really, but that's their business. I don't know. I think we all wanted to see that though. That being said, Colombia gets first for me. That matches them up with probably the United States coming out of Group C in that second place spot. I think Uruguay gets above them. USA, Colombia in the quarters. Ooh, rematch. And if that friendly 2 weeks ago is anything to go by, it's not looking good for the Stars and Stripes. Let's be real honest. So Colombia makes it through to the semis for me. Uruguay, Brazil. It's going to be a really good game. Could go either way historically, but if you watch my previous video, I think very highly of this current iteration of Uruguay. So I think Uruguay gets through that. Colombia, Uruguay, that's going to be a good game. I'm just excited to watch that before anything. But Colombia easily should be semifinal, final appearance if everything pre-tournament reigns true. And yeah, going to be very exciting tournament. Just out of curiosity, Spain and Germany are two of the best teams through group play in Euros. That easily puts them in the top 8, top 6 of the world. Colombia has wins on both of them. So where does that place Colombia without your Eurocentric views? 5th, 4th, 3rd best team in the world right now? Think about it. And Mbappe wants to say the Euros are... Get out of here, man. I'd love to see Mbappe play one time in La Paz, Bolivia. But anyways, that's that on that. Colombia, Los Cafeteros, en Barranquilla me quedo. Karol G, Colombia. That's the video. Stay tuned. Gonna be churning content left and right throughout this summer. Mid-Table Talk has got you. Subscribe. Check out the last video. I'm starting to figure this stuff out. Give me a job too. Colombia. Parce.